You can see inside the convention center. I did not realize that. Talk about not being very observant, right?
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror. The Perverts Have Spoken. Yes, episode number 18. Episode number 18, which means that there's only 13 more episodes left. That's right, the last 2 weeks of October, culminating with Halloween, All Hallows Eve. And oh man, tonight, I am reviewing a film that I said I was not going to review unless I got 5 requests saying, please review this. And honestly, I only got 1 request, and thinking about it, asking for 5 requests from any of these videos is like asking for someone to give up their firstborn child or all their money, or, you know, give up their beautiful trophy wife or something like that, because hey, it ain't gonna happen. Now, if it was an incest anime, well, I got like 1,000 requests, but it's not. So anyways, what I'm going to do is review what's possibly one of the worst movies ever made. And it was kind of a mistake for me to try to tackle it tonight of all nights, because coming off of yesterday's marathon of fun that I had and today's early morning work, I am quite tired. And being tired and watching a bad movie is not a good combination. I had to really work to stay awake during that god-awful film. And what is that film? Well, that film is Track of the Moon Beast! The Moon Beast! Ah! Part of my 3-movie classic creature feature pack that contained Creature, which is actually a decent movie in comparison to everything on this. It's freaking Citizen Kane. It's like, I am almost afraid to look at Snow Beast, honestly. I'm almost, like, afraid. But anyway, so what is the deal with Track of the Moon Beast? Well, Track of the Moon Beast is about this guy who's like a paleontologist, whatever. He's out in the desert digging for artifacts, and his American Indian friend, who is a, I don't know, is a, like a professor at a nearby college, has a couple of his friends, no, not friends, but a couple of his students show up along with this photographer, this professional photographer who's studying American Indian spirituality and rituals, introduce them, and of course immediately they fall in love, which is like really hard to get my mind around it. I mean, like, I guess it's love at first sight, but the interaction and the lead up to them actually like liking each other is ridiculous. I mean, there's like a scene where he's in his home and she's there, and she's, oh, it's a nice place. And this is like 5-10 minutes into the film, and he's like, I want you to show you a friend, and he unveils that he has this pet lizard, and she's like, oh, lizard, oh, I'm scared, and like, you know, it has nothing to be scared of. And he's like, I'm sorry, did the lizard frighten you? And she goes, I mean, I'm paraphrasing here, I'm not getting the exact words right, but she goes, not as frightened as what I am of us. What? And then they start kissing. I'm like, God, what in the world is going on? Seriously, the love story in Attack of the Clones is like Shakespeare in comparison to this. I mean, there was a lot more emotion between Padme and Anakin. There was a lot more life in the performance of Anakin Skywalker. I'm forgetting the name of the freaking Hayden Christensen. There you go, bam. He was doing a masterful job compared to this, honestly. So what's the deal? So there's like an asteroid that's going to hit the moon, and they use the best special effects. Basically, it looks like a piece of charcoal on fire, and you're holding it with a stick that you can sort of tell, oh, it's coming towards the moon. Anyways, it smacks into the moon, and a piece of moon rock flies through the air and comes like, you know, within feet of the guy and the girl. And, like, the guy's name's Paul, I think, whatever. Anyways, he gets injured by it. I mean, you know, it's almost like a freaking baseball-sized rock. I mean, if that was actually hitting within feet from you, I think there would be, like, you know, a lot more impact than just, you know, like, whooshoo, oh, whatever. So anyways, it passes by them, and he gets injured, and a piece of it apparently gets embedded into his skull. And once again, just the greatest thing. So, you know, she's like, oh, you're injured, and, oh, here, let me wipe that off of you. He's like, oh, it's fine. No, we should go someplace to get it. Look, I have lots of anesthetic in my medicine cabinet at my house. And she's like, your house? Yes, my house. Oh, look, what is that? There. You know, 2 feet away. Because obviously, the impact that happened like 2 feet away from them with that baseball-sized meteor rock was totally not noticed until he like looks over to the ground. And it's like, there it is. It's a meteor or a part of the moon. That is awesome. Hey, well, hold on, let's make sure it's cold enough for us to move. Oh, it feels like it's not very cold. And he picks it up with his bare freaking hands, because, you know, that's what you do, right? I mean, honestly, the thing would probably still be molten hot and would be burning his hand off at this moment. But, you know, 2 seconds, whatever. And it's like right next to his bike. I think that bike would have been obliterated by the impact that happens. But, you know, it's a movie, right? Yeah. So anyways, all of a sudden, at night, he feels real sick and ill. And apparently he transforms into a giant lizard guy who goes on a murderous rampage. And by murderous rampage, honestly, I think there is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 people died. And like an 8th person died, but they died of a heart attack looking at the aftermath of what he did. So I guess you could contribute that to him. But honestly, no. It's really ridiculous. And they talk about, like, there's this old American Indian folklore about like lizard man, and he just couldn't be defeated by regular arrows, and then one day he just burst to flames for no reason. Anyways, so they figure out that he's infected with that same type of thing, that he is going to turn into a lizard, and so they're trying to figure out a way to cure him. Unfortunately, the piece of moon rock that's in his brain is like dissolving and spreading the energies and making it almost impossible for him to be cured, and eventually one of the doctors says that it will become super unstable and the energy will explode and he will burst the flames and die, right? So he's like, oh, I've got nothing to live for, so he decides to escape and try to commit suicide because, you know, that's it. And really, that's basically the entire movie right there. Yeah, nothing very sophisticated, nothing very horrific except for the acting and the dialogue and the scripting and the special effects. I mean, the end special effects just, my goodness, it's ridiculous what goes on. I mean, it's a cheap, you know, rubber lizard costume. The gore effects actually are probably the only decent thing. They had like this face that was kind of scraped. That was sort of okay. But honestly, there's just nothing really good about this movie. It's horribly acted. It's horribly paced. The dialogue is just atrocious. I mean, the only thing that this movie has value over, let's say, the one movie that I think is the worst movie of all time, which is The Falling, is that you can watch it and just laugh at it and how pathetic the dialogue and the acting is. You could get some friends over, get some beers, get some hard liquor or whatever, and just watch it and have a good time. While The Falling, it's impossible to have a good time no matter what you do. So honestly, I mean, it's bad. Yes, the acting is definitely worse than that movie. It's probably the worst acting I've seen in a regular production outside of, you know, like the super ultra independent stuff. It's probably the worst dialogue, I mean, in the history of dialogue. I just don't get it. What the things that they say and how they phrase it. It's one of those things that you just have to behold and wonder, nobody edited this? No one went and read the script and went, you know, no human being alive actually says things like that. I mean, let's just say, you know, one of the things is like, it is so, I don't know how you say it. It's like they take a book that says how to make a movie, how to make a scene, and they go through it step by step, but don't actually get into the context. I mean, they have the foreshadowing, you know, they went, how to foreshadow. Basically, put clues about what will happen in the future of the movie in the early parts of the movie. Except they hit you over the head with it. Like, the whole lizard thing just happens like a billion times in the beginning of the movie. Like, okay, he's gonna be a lizard, which is strange because it's supposed to be Moon Beast. And I always thought, and I could be wrong, but I always felt that Beast was more of a mammal type creature, you know, furry. This more, you know, a lizard, yeah, I guess you could still call it a beast. I mean, technically, sure, but for me, it's like, you know, yeah, I guess. But the whole thing, like with the arrows and keep calling him John Longbow or something like that. And I love that. It's like why do you call him John Longbow? Well, see, that's his name translated into English, because, you know, he is John who can shoot a bow and arrow at a long distance accurately. Yeah, okay, right. I think we figured that one out. So, longbow is the American Indian phrase for the English translation. He can shoot a bow at long ranges accurately. I honestly think that was just an English word with a longer English description. And his proper Indian name is probably something, I don't know, in their language. But that could just be me. I don't know. Aha! Seriously, I want to be a filmmaker. And how do these guys do it? How do these guys fool and trick people into giving them money to make these things? Because I'm a filmmaker. I probably could do better. Give me some money. Anyone? 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 Nope. Nope. Okay, well, there you go. Anyways, it's madness. It's madness. And yet, you know, even though I was falling asleep, and honestly, most of that was probably because I was really tired. And there have been times that I've fallen asleep during good movies that I really liked because I was really tired. And I'm really tired, honestly. I had to, like, shoot up some adrenaline. I gotta do, like, 50 lines of coke. But maybe all this stuff that I'm doing right now is because I'm ridiculously tired at the moment. Anyways, it is bad. It's bad. It's a 0.5 out of 5. Not a 0, because it's not a complete, utter waste. Because it's like one of those bad movies that you can laugh at, that you can find some enjoyment, that you can poke fun of, even though it's somewhat of a masochistic endeavor, and maybe you need some friends and give it the old Mystery Science Theater 3000 treatment. I mean, I was thinking about just like, I was cracking like, oh my god, just joke after joke while watching this. But it was an ordeal, honestly it was. I mean, there's so much I just like, can I fast forward, please? Please? Can I fast forward? But the performance of the photographer girl, holy shit, she must have banged the director 5 ways till sundown, because that has got to be the only reason she's in the film, is because, you know, she was, it's not because of her talent. I mean, she's kind of pretty to look at, but she can't act. She couldn't act her way out of a soggy paper bag. And if you don't get that analogy, then sorry guys, I'm not going to explain it. Just take a paper bag, moisten it down, and then see what happens. Anyways, that's just, I can't, my mind is kind of blown by it, honestly. So, but there you have it. I did it, I survived. My god, hopefully no one asks me to review Die Hard Dracula. God knows that I just mentioned it. I know someone out there is going to be wicked enough to ask me to do it, and knowing me, I'll probably do it. That Hard Dracula can't be worse than this thing. No, it can't be. It cannot be worse than this. I have it. It's in there somewhere. I think it's in that Power of Evil. Yeah, 4-pack. Let me go show you. This thing here, yeah, there it is, Die Hard Dracula, 1998, 89 minutes. Oh, goodness me. Anyways, but there we go, there we have it. This video is probably just a big, long, incoherent rant by me, but I don't know, I guess I'd put that enjoyment factor at 1 out of 5. Because there's a little bit there, but honestly, I mean, if I went through the scores, like violence and gore would be 0.5 out of 5. Shock value would be 0 out of 5, unless I was how shockingly bad it was. Then 5,000. Anyways, plot. Honestly, it's kind of a plot. You know, that's probably the strongest point of the movie, is that the plot, at least, you know, you can follow it. It's like, okay, ancient, you know, American Indian folklore, moon rock, brain, monster, end. Yeah, 2 out of 5. Acting, -3. I'd have to give it a 0.5. I don't know. I gave 0. No, there was the cop. Maybe no. It just reminds me of the scene of like where there's this poker game and the monster shows up and kills everyone. The one guy's like, oh, he's got my arm. Okay, he's like he's waiting for his cue. To like, are we rolling? I mean, it's like you're supposed to look like you're terrified. And he's just like. Oh, okay. It's bad. Yeah, like 0 out of 5. Nudity. No hope for any little tidbits of anything. Honestly, that's the only thing that could have like helped this movie, is if that chick showed off her ample bosom. And that was not really ample. I mean, they're perky and hey, what am I getting off into? Anyways, so yeah, enjoyment factor 1 out of 5, 0.5 out of 5, and you'll see the rest of the scores at the bottom. Anyways, this has probably gone way longer than I wanted it to, so I'm just gonna end it now, and I will see you guys next time with a better movie. I mean, it shouldn't be hard to do. Yeah.